Happy Friday, Facebook. It's another edition of the Superstar Show. I am in the back of a store in Philadelphia, and as you can tell, it's not the most appealing studio. But anyway, it is an electric Friday here. The entire city is on fire right now with the sports activity that's going on. As a matter of fact, if you're heading down to South Philadelphia today, I think we have Phillies, the Smashing Pumpkins, and Temple football all in the same area. So I wouldn't even dare try and drive if I were you, FYI. Anyway, today's guest is a repeat guest, one of my favorites in real life as well as virtually. The message for today's show is to be the superstar you want to be. And that's my goal for you guys. Some of you may have not followed me before or haven't seen what I do. I use the term superstar as a way to create this idea of being elite and, really showcasing your ability and pushing yourself to become better at what you do. And my goal is to help people become the superstar that they want to be. And there'll be more to come on that. I'm looking into doing some different things down the road to help people do that. So that's just a little hint. So I hope you guys are doing some fun stuff today. I am super, super excited. I have a cocktail party later at 6:00. That's going to be fun. We got a sitter tonight. So my wife and I are going to have some free time. That's what I'm talking about. JD, what's going on? How are you? Meredith, what's it? Meredith is a huge fan. I call Meredith my hype man. But anyway, there's so much to talk about with Maria. Maria and I are some of the oldest, or some of the oldest. That did not sound right. So Maria is one of my oldest and dearest friends in this business, and we have so much fun working together, and I love doing these shows with her. But anyway, my message for today is if you want to be successful, surround yourself by the people that will help you get there. Maria is one of those people. She was with me in the beginning, and she has pushed me to become better and better at what I do. And I absolutely love her to death. So that's a hell of an intro, I think. Without further ado, the unbelievable, one of the best realtors in the Philadelphia area and now South Jersey, Miss Maria Zolezzi.
Hi.
How is that for an intro?
That's a lot of pressure.
What's going on?
Hi. I was trying to thank you for the introduction. I was trying to figure out how to respond. I can't respond to the comments in there. I'm not allowed to do that.
So you have to respond to them on Facebook.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's where it gets confusing. So they can actually... That thing that you're texting in is the pop-ups that are coming up on the show.
I can't even text in that, but here. Hi. Okay. Hi, everyone. Right. I'm super multitasking. But anyway.
No, you do your thing, girl. You do your thing.
I was laughing because you're like my oldest friend. I was like, wait a minute. Who are you calling old?
No, yeah, that didn't come out well. Sometimes, it's nice that it's a live show because I feel like there's value to being raw and uncut. Yeah, but that also means that there's some slip ups,
Yeah,
we have so much to talk about. It's been so long since we've been together on camera.
I know. And not only South Jersey, I do all Central also because I live yeah.
You pretty much, I will tell you, you cover a lot of area. Yes, we are the dynamic duo, Meredith. Meredith is the
best. Oh my God.
We're going to talk about Meredith because we're going to get into the Rife group. I want to talk a lot about that today.
Oh, good. I have a lot to talk about it.
Yeah, we are definitely going to do that. And Meredith is the cornerstone of the Rife group. She really helps piece it all together. And I love her.
She wrangles the cats.
She wrangles the cats.
She's a cat herder.
We're gonna get deep into a lot of this stuff. And by the way, your hair looks phenomenal. I got to tell you.
I said, I just I showered, I washed it.
It looks good, man. Like life goals, you're hitting them. So for people that don't know, Maria and I started in this business. It's such a funny story how Maria and I met, but I still will never forget it. I was, lenders are often invited to sponsor parties. And it happens, like events that are related to realtors. And I was invited, and Maria was on a team, and we'll keep it nameless. We'll keep it classy. It was stay the way it is. And I showed up to this particular event, and Maria was in charge of greeting me at the time. She was on there. It was like 95 degrees out. The humidity must have been 103 in Philadelphia, in the city. John, by the way, Maria, John Duffin is always, he'll never forget your event at the top of the Sterling where we first met.
Oh yeah, that was such a great event. That was really awesome.
It was so good. It really was. It was so good. But anyway, long story short, there weren't many people there that were that welcoming. Maria was one of them, and we met, and it was probably one of the most valuable things that have happened in my career, because you and I connected professionally, and you're a game changer for me. I attribute a lot of where I am now in this business because of our relationship. And I'll tell you, Maria, this is something that's true about you. You push very hard on every transaction to do everything you can for your clients. And that's been consistent for you since you and I began. And that makes me so much better at what I do. It really does.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it really does.
We try. I mean, this is not, you're dealing with getting your clients to the next chapter of life, which can be very emotional and stressful and scary. And a lot of times they don't know anything about what to expect. So it's I don't know. I think I used to be an elementary school teacher, and I compare it to that. Like when you meet your students on the first day of school, there are all of these, they're scared. They don't know what to expect the next year coming up. And your goal is to make them feel comfortable and get them to the next goal, whether it be to read a chapter book or to get, just learn their ABCs, or, well, that wouldn't, I taught 5th grade. So hopefully by then they knew that, but like, some adults still don't know that, but with real estate, it's very much the same. It's like you want to get them to this goal of home ownership, which, simultaneously is getting them to the next chapter in life where they have this whole new life.
But I would call you sweet but sassy, and in a good way, because I think that you don't take shit, and I love that about you. Like you're always there to benefit your clients and do the right thing. But when you when you feel like something's not right in the, and I call it transaction, it's the wrong word. I'm trying to make it less salesy, but like in the course of a particular project we're working on, I don't know, when something's not done right and it's not fair to your client, you have no problem speaking up. And I love that. You
call it sassy. I've also been called psycho. So sassy over psycho.
But I like it. But you know what? It's you have a very good way of always staying professional, no matter what. And you have but it's the way you treat this business is as a consummate professional, right? And that's why I think it's been so beneficial for me to be around you, because it's made me treat it that way too, and it's good. It's all positive. It's all good.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, the feeling is mutual, because I know we talk a lot, about always trying to get better at, personally and professionally. So feeling is mutual, Chad around.
All right. So let's give a little context for people that haven't seen Maria on my show before or don't know much about her. You're a 2nd generation realtor, but it skipped a generation. So grandma.
Well, technically it didn't. Nope. Aunt Carol has her, she got her license too.
Okay. All right. So we'll call you 3 generations. Is that?
Yeah, we'll do that just for,
all right. So, but Maria's grandmother was like the SHIT in her market, right?
Yeah. She was just very, very, just loved, admired, and very the consummate professional, just amazing. Yeah,
you got a lot of good women that help really steer you in the right direction.
I do. Yeah. I am very, one of my, how every morning, I know I'm very corny, and that I'm big on like podcasts and like motivational stuff and being grateful every morning. And I do like my lists in the morning, and I have a book, and every morning, like I always have like the same top 5. And it's always like for my aunts and for my mom and my aunts, for being my cousins, for being surrounded by like, it's not, I think it's rare that like you come from a family where like every female is super independent and strong and like just incredibly smart and loving and just awesome women. I am very fortunate, more than blessed that I have that. And, you know, I grew up with that, you know, starting with my grandmother, and it's really, it's pretty cool. So
that is cool.
I accept no responsibility for my awesomeness. It's all my mom and my grandma and my dad and my brother. I mean, I can go on and on, but
yeah, your family's awesome, and that's a huge reason why you are who you are. I love that. I love that about you.
I love my family. Awesome. I'm a lucky girl.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So you, Maria, started. I mean, I know you. I shouldn't say you started. You started. Did you start in Bluebell? Real estate wise, I forget.
No, I started in Wayne. I started at Coldwell Banker Preferred with the Hoops McGarry team, which I actually just talked about Hoops yesterday. But yeah, I started on their team at Coldwell Banker in Delco because I lived in Drexel Hill, and then I got to know that market. Then I worked for a builder, for an awesome builder, Sal Paone in Montgomery County, and I worked for them. Then I went to Keller Williams in Bluebell, and then Center City. And every time I went there, I kind of just like immersed myself in that local market just so I can build up my resume for knowing all those markets. And then where did I go after Keller Williams? Oh, Compass. And then Compass. Yeah. And then I was so excited when Compass called me, and Amanda, who was on Nicole's team, said, I really think you should, you know, consider Compass. And I was like, no. I'm like, it's a cult. I don't know what, like, no one, I know nothing about them. No one shares anything about Compass. I'm like, it's a cult. And then she's like, just give it a chance. And I did. And it was the elevator speech, which it was more than that I got from the person, the people, you know, doing the recruiting, did not even do it justice to what I experienced at Compass my first year there. It was the technology, the people, being surrounded by people who not only are obsessed and love real estate as much as I do, but more importantly, they love their clients, and their clients come first. It's not about the paycheck. I mean, yeah, who doesn't like getting a paycheck? And, you know, we need to pay our bills, but like that doesn't always happen, getting those paychecks constantly. But at the end of the day, I'm surrounded by people who love their clients first and they chose Compass because they knew that Compass provided the resources that would give their clients better resources and better decision making. And it's incredible. There's so many. I mean, I could go on all day about Compass.
So Compass as a whole has definitely met your professional needs at this moment, from a career perspective
and personal.
And personal.
They have a group called the 6 a.m.ers where we don't always, I mean, I haven't done it this month, but I've done a lot of months and they don't always focus on, you know, on real estate, because at the end of the day, if you're not happy and one with yourself personally, you can't fully function 100% professionally, and vice versa, I think. So the 6 a.m.ers group, which Sky Michael started, is amazing. We'd wake up, we're on a Zoom call by 6 a.m. and they do like a meditation. We read a book of the month that's usually centered on, you know, self-awareness and just being the best version of yourself. But yeah, so sorry if I cut off your train of thought.
You didn't cut off anything. Nope, you're good. You're good. I want to dig into the Compass thing, and then I want to get into the Nicole Reif group.
Yes, and I hope she's watching. I tagged her, but I know she's busy today with some stuff. So
we'll make sure she watches it, because Meredith is watching, and Meredith will make sure she watches it.
I think Meredith is on here. She was texting me like, I'm waiting. Okay.
That's
she also
awesome.
She's a homeroom mom. She is.
Oh,
we have meetings, and I always get like, it was not always me. I think I always get yelled at it before though. But like, we'll be in meetings.
There she is.
And then there she is. Yeah. Like we'll be talking about something serious. And then I'll be like, that reminds me of a time that I went to, and like Nicole be like, squirrel, like get like round. And Meredith has to wrangle us back in. We're trying to
That's
like get
so
work
funny.
done.
So I want to talk about a couple things. So you did the team approach for a while, then you went solo agent, right? And then
Yeah.
you decided to go back on a team. And I want to
Yeah.
get through your mindset on that. And I
Great.
think it's so relevant to the reason I opened up the show with saying surrounding yourself by the right people, right, is what makes you become the superstar that you want to be. You know, through the evolution, you've been doing real estate for a while. So through the evolution of the different companies and knowing yourself and understanding the business, tell us like what your mind has been with different teams and then solo and then back to a team. What's your thought process been behind that?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I like that question, Chad.
I try.
Um,
I mean, you're good. No, but like I like saying there's a lot of realtors watching this. A lot of people will watch this that are in the business, and
yeah,
you're extremely well known. You are a well known realtor in the area,
well
in the
known
industry.
for being a psycho.
No, for being a good agent. You're well known for being a very good agent, and people know that about you. And I want it to be a learning experience because everyone goes through. It's like this in this business. It's like this,
Oh
you
gosh,
know.
yes.
Yeah.
Right now, it was a few months ago. It was like crash and burn for me. But I think when you were asking this question, it made me think. I like try to quickly like go back in my files, and I from where I started. I think it also has to do with becoming like older and wiser.
Mm,
Um, when I first got into real estate, I thought it was going to look as seamless and as elegant and graceful as my grandmother made it look, like, oh, we're having dinner. She pulled out her big phone. Let me just go take a call. Closed a deal, continue on with dinner, like going on vacation. Like she made it look so lovely when meanwhile, like, you wake up in the morning, look at your phone, and you're like, boulder, and you're like, ah, like, and then like the end of the day, you look like you're like a walking zombie. And so as when I first started, I was like, I was young and I just, I thought it would be fun and real estate, make your own schedule. And I quickly learned it wasn't that. Um, and then just from being through different teams and different brokerages, and growing myself,
mm-hmm.
and going through a divorce and being, just going through things and trying to reprogram my brain, like just growing, I realized what I really needed in terms of
Mm-hmm.
support. And like you said, surrounding yourself with like the positive, good people that support you and raise you up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that I finally have come to the place professionally where I can recognize immediately who is really truly genuine and is going to support me and really follows through with what they say.
Mm-hmm.
And you know and so yeah, so I think it's just it was, I don't know if I answered your question correctly, because I tend to,
No, you did. I think it's.
I think it's just I've learned so much, and even in the last 12 months, I think I have become a lot more mature.
Stupid email thing. Do you hear that? Do you hear that email thing? How do I turn that
I don't know, is
off?
that
It's so
you? I don't
annoying.
know.
Sorry.
I have no idea. I thought it was just someone like putting comments, but yeah. So I think I've finally gotten to a place where I know who I am. I know what I need to be the best version of myself, which I'm not yet. I'm getting there. Um, and I know that, at the end of the day, like it's not about, we used to do a lot of like big broker parties and all these things. And like, it's not about that. Yeah, those are good because you meet new agents and you build rapport with new agents, or not new agents, just agents in general. Cause you never know who you're going to do a deal with. Those are good. But like, for me, I needed focus. I needed support. I needed, you know, uh, positivity and room for growth, and someone who is going to just push us every day. And and that's what the team that I joined today. It took a long time for me to agree, because I always promised myself I'd be fine independent. I never wanted to do a team again because I don't follow rules correctly. I don't
Hi,
like rules
Heather.
in general. Hey Heather! Oh, the best, Heather. You're awesome. We love you.
We
Oh,
love you, Heather.
they're the best. So yeah, I think that just growing older and wiser and going through different types of people and even friends like personally, like I realized what friends were toxic to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um and me toxic meaning just like I would just not, just whatever, where I'm going with that. But yeah, so now I'm in a place where I absolutely adore every single person on the team. I adore Nicole and Meredith. Nicole, it's very common for me to wake up in the morning and there's like a motivational, like inspirational message on my phone from Nicole, like, you got this. Like, it's so fun because I'm very much like that. Like, I spend my mornings listening to these podcasts and the greatness within podcasts, and so it's nice to be in a place where someone else and the surrounding team members totally get that and appreciate that and respect that and want to be the best versions of themselves.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. This business, especially when you're solo, you need to talk to people. Like,
Right.
whether it's talking through deals or scenarios or anything in general, it's extremely helpful to have a support system, right? And,
Right.
that's the key, I think, for anybody. But more importantly, I want everyone to see, because Maria is an experienced agent, that no matter where you are, you should be, if you can figure out your system, your recipe, the things that work for you, cool. If you're still in that you're unsure thing, always look to find solutions. Like, Maria, the one good thing with you is you never stop trying to better yourself,
Right.
whether that's as an individual or whether that's in a team. And that's a good thing, because it's not just about, like you said, it's not just about the dollars and the deals and the volume. It's also about the way you're doing it. If you can do it with a team that you find to be supportive, that you seem to be helpful, it's almost more, fulfilling, for lack of a
Right.
better term,
Oh, it's fulfilling because you're literally fulfilling your, like, not to sound cheesy, but like
Yeah.
I am, I guess. You're satisfying your soul and what makes you
Uh-huh.
happy. And when
Uh-huh.
that's satisfied and happy, you can be your best self and you can be
Uh-huh.
your best self personally and professionally, because I think your clients see that too. Um yeah, like I could just I am the other day, I hope she doesn't get mad at me saying this, but we had a lunch after work the other day and Nicole said, like, I hope she
True.
doesn't get mad, but she can be very shy. And we were eating lunch and like under her breath, she was like, I'm really happy you joined the team. And like, oh, I was like, she loves me. That's great. And then like we carried on because no emotion. Just like, okay. I was like, I'm really happy too. And I like wanted to give her a hug, but I know, like, some people don't like emotions like I do. I'm all about hugging and smushing your face and all that. But yeah, I just wanted to Trisha just made a comment, which is absolutely correct. Um, you're the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with, which is actually absolutely
True.
correct. I think that's
True.
actually in a book. I'm sure it is because Trisha is like the smartest person in the entire world and is probably quoting some book she read. And Trisha and I, we did a deal together too. Trisha is awesome, and Trisha has inspired me in so many ways with all of her 1 billion
Maria,
posts
it's very rare that I
she
find
has.
clients that aren't like over the moon with you. Like most of your clients are just like kind of obsessed with you. After they're like, we love Maria. Like, you become like a permanent part of their family, which speaks to, again, it's the importance of a successful agent is connecting with people. That's what
Right.
people, they gotta connect with people, right? And
Yeah.
that's what you're the expert at, Maria. You really are. Like, you're really good at connecting with people. You really are.
I think I got that from my not I think I know I got that from my mom. She's very philanthropic
Mm.
and very very like in tune to what, to all of that stuff and community oriented. So I think growing up watching her, I think that just kind of became, I mean, maybe it was an innate thing, who knows, or
Mm.
maybe it was just a learned thing, but Yeah, it's but it's fun. I like people.
I'm really happy, Maria. Like, I love seeing you in this place because people that have known you, you've been through a lot of stuff, right? You've been through a
Mhm.
lot of different things. You've been through a lot of stuff, and in reality, I think that it's really great to see you almost where I think you should be at this point. You know, happy, doing what you love, and being in the right environment to thrive the
Yeah.
way the way you do. and
Yeah.
that's why I'm good.
Oh,
I'm happy
thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a tough decision, but it was also a no-brainer, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
it wasn't
you
as
know,
tough as you thought it would be.
right. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot, a lot.
yeah.
I put a plan together where the next 6 to 12 months, I am just like boots to the ground, my
Mhm,
nose to the like I am just going to be focusing on my clients and helping people find their homes, sell their homes. I made that commitment to myself.
mhm,
And to my close and loved ones, to let them know, like, hey, this next year is going to be tough because I'm just going to be busting my ass doing whatever I can to kind of get to the next level.
mhm.
um and the reason I wanted to actually talk, because I know you wanted to know about how like the whole thing with the team came up,
Yeah,
because
and let's set. You know what? Let's set the tone. So let's tell everyone who the Rife Group is, where they're located. You know, da 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 da. And before we do that, this is a true live testimonial, guys. It's the true live testimonial. This is not scripted. Okay, I'm going to read this. Maria and I, just actually helped Heather's mom buy a home this past Monday, as a matter of fact, right?
that
And
Monday,
Heather was,
Tuesday,
what's that?
Tuesday, I think, right? Tuesday.
Tuesday. I wasn't Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday. And so this is real life stuff. Let's read what she says. It's the way she is with people and makes them feel accepted and calm. The whole process of buying my home, I did not feel overwhelmed at all. I appreciate you both tremendously.
Oh,
Heather, those words mean the world to us. We
I got
really
like
think why we
the
do it.
goosebumps all up my arms and my neck. Aw,
We're just
thank
gonna
you.
call this the Maria Love Fest.
Oh my goodness.
I love
Oh,
it. I love
goodness.
it. So yes, go
Oh,
ahead.
thank
Tell
you
us
so
about
much.
the Rife.
No, I was gonna. So, as you know, I got this crazy idea to start a pet boutique business a few
Uh-huh.
months ago, and it was totally a huge risk, personally, professionally, and financially. And as you know, what you focus on expands.
Mhm,
So I focused on this business, and unfortunately, my real estate business was suffering greatly.
mhm,
Um, and just coincidentally, I had met Nicole. I knew her, and then I became friend, like more like personable, like official, like knew her friends about a year ago. And then I also remember there were a few times I'd call her when I was an independent agent. Like I had this one thing where I thought I totally messed up a deal, and I like called her frantically on like a Saturday at like 11 o'clock in the morning, freaking out. And she called me back right away and like gave me some tips, and I was like, wow, I'm like, that's awesome. Like she didn't have to do that. Like
mhm,
I'm not on her team. Like this was like a year ago. Turns out everything was fine, because as usual, I freaked out over nothing. But so anyway, then fast forward to a few months ago, she had reached out and we met, and it just like clicked. And it was like a win-win situation. We
mhm,
both expressed our needs and wants, and it worked out. And it's been incredible is an understatement. It's been
mhm,
I like on that side, like it's just so great. Um the Like I said, I never wanted to be on a team again, and then this just happened because it happened out of need, but I think it really was just the universe, just saying like this is right. Um
mhm.
and it's been great. Yeah. So
So Nicole Rife, the Rife Group is based out of Ambler, right?
correct. Yeah,
Right.
Ambler Bluebell area.
Ambler Bluebell. Okay.
But our licenses, I think, are held in like the center city office.
Okay.
And I am one of two agents on the team that do Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So Jersey, my license is in the Princeton office.
Okay.
So um, and then yeah. Is that
And
it?
then you guys have how many on the team? Is it 15? No, how many people are on the team?
Meredith would know that answer, I think, because I don't know. Because there are a few agents that, like, I think there's like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like maybe like 5. I don't know. I can't answer that question. Sorry.
All right, I'm just throwing stuff out there. You don't have to know for sure.
My
And
arithmetic expired when I was adding how old Jason was, because I said, "What are you, 21?" And he was like, 24 years ago. And I was like, "Oh, so you're 45?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Wow, I was impressed by that math that I did, but that was the extent." Oh, and we're in Florida too, Meredith said. We're licensed in Florida too.
licensed in Florida. Okay. All
Michael
right.
Howard is the agent there, and Nicole is licensed there, or getting licensed there, or is already.
Florida.
So we are
Florida.
really taking over the Eastern Seaboard. 4 full-time agents, 4 part-time agents. Thank you, Meredith.
There you go. I knew she would give us the 411. But so talk about like what's a week look like being on the team now? Like, so you have your Monday meeting, like give us a whole breakdown.
Yeah, the Monday meetings are so awesome because it's such a great way to start with like positivity. We start the meetings with like I think it's like either what we're grateful for, what good things happens. Whoever has the most under contract from the week before then gets, the crowns, the king or queen. We get like crowns, and then we just talk, we kind of like strategize about best practices. We take a look at the production, our volume, and all that. It's all positive. It's all about like, how can we support each other? What are some issues? Like, it's so great. And then we also talk about some of these different events that Nicole plans and Meredith plans for the Rife Rewards group.
You guys do a lot of it. Yeah. Talk about that a little bit. Right?
Yeah. So like
you guys
we
are
did
very big on events.
Yeah, there's just a lot of really cool events that we do for our clients just to give back. Our clients, and I don't even think our clients really truly understand the level of how appreciative we are to them. And I don't think some of them don't even like think it's a thing, like sometimes I sell to clients like, "Thank you so much." And they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it." I'm like, "No, thank you. Like, you guys, you make us, successful. You help us, build these connections with other people and let us help other people." So, and that's another reason why I joined the team, is because Nicole gives back so much to her clients and her people. That, I wish I always wanted to start a team myself years ago, but I just couldn't do it. I could if I really tried. I just couldn't. But if I did have a team, it would look exactly like the way Nicole has it set up. But yeah, so it's all about just giving back, positivity, and just being everyone. Just being like
so in essence, I think the reason you joined her team is because there's such a parallel between you and the things that resonate with your soul, right?
Yeah.
And then what she does. And I think I think Nicole, like I've met her a few times. She's a magnetic person. She really is. And I think that as like just as you have in throughout your entire life, it's these amazing female mentors, right?
Yeah.
And she's just one of those people. And I think she sees the same in you.
Yeah. No, it's got to be like a win-win situation. It's absolutely that. And everyone on the team I went to Montauk over the summer. My family, we all went there, and I was nervous because it was going to be a long time away. And for such a small team, every day there was someone helping me out, showing properties, like no questions asked, like, "We got you covered. You have fun. Don't worry about it." Like that's so it's rare to find that, that camaraderie and that much support. And like it was actually like everyone was just like being too, like they were like, "We got you. What else can we do?" Like it was just so great. And obviously, I beg for the chance to reciprocate. We all help each other out. And I think it was at that moment when I was away where I realized like, oh, thank goodness I joined. Like I made the right decision.
What a massively important point though, Maria, because that's one thing a lot of agents, like, or even people that get into the business don't understand. Like, it's hard to take off. It's hard to live a real life. Like, success doesn't come without sacrifice on a large scale in this business.
Right.
So like
Right.
being a part of a team that's doing it for the sake of just wanting to help one another,
Oh,
it's amazing. And it stems back to the leadership. I mean, she's
right.
really created an amazing culture there, and
Absolutely.
pretty awesome,
Oh, yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Great.
So you guys, so the Rife Group, and obviously you, because it's amazing. You really know a lot of markets really well, which I think is really cool. Not a lot of agents have that. They really don't. They'll know this part or that part or this part. But having lived in Center City, and then having lived in Delaware County, and then having lived in Montgomery County, I mean, you really have experienced the greater Philadelphia area on a very
Yeah.
very interesting level. And the markets really well. You really do.
Well, I think it's also, I saw an agent on Instagram like post like find an agent, and maybe this is not good for me to say this, but I'm very transparent and I don't really care. So I saw someone posting like it's not ideal to have an agent. Like when you find an agent, make sure they know only one market. Like they're that go-to agent for, let's say, like, okay, I live in Bordentown City. Like find the agent that only knows Bordentown City and farms that area. Or find the Haddonfield agent that only knows Haddonfield and find this. So, and I get that, and I appreciate and respect that. But I think it's also, I think on the flip side, yeah, I go all over the place, and I like will go. But at the end of the day, it's very easy to price something or to create an offer and look up comps and really know an area. And plus I've lived everywhere, as everyone knows.
Well, that's what I meant. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Every time I live somewhere, I do study the market. And I look at the history of the market through past years, and look at where it's going. So it's not like I'm just like, oh yeah, I can do that area, no problem. Like I'll fake it till I make it. It's not like that. But I think it's important because it comes also down to the transaction. Like anybody can sell a home, anybody can sell. It's easy to sell a home. What's not easy is the stuff in between. Like it's like, because it can get messy. And if you're with an agent that, yeah, they live in the area, they know the area, but like they don't know how to build a rapport with the cooperating agent so that you don't piss them off, or like, you know that you need to cooperate to get to the end goal for your clients. You need to know like that there's gonna be a UNO for most townships and counties. You need to know, good title people, good lenders, so that it's a seamless transaction. Like you need to know the in between stuff. And so like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I do go all over, but it's strategic, as there is there is some sense to my chaos.
Well, no, but like not many agents do it that well. I mean, I've seen you do. I mean, God, it's Montgomery County, Delaware County, South Jersey, Philadelphia. I mean, you do it, and you do it well because you know those markets so well, and not many agents can do that. Not many agents can do that.
I love, and I also, you know what? I just love real estate. I love driving.
You do love driving.
And I can like follow up and be like, hey, did you move in? How's it go? Like it's my office. I love it. It's my little me time. And if my dog's with me, it's me and Sullivan time. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. And there are lots of agents that do it also.
There aren't many that do it that well though. They really aren't.
There's and I'm sure you know her too. I love her. Pam Butera. She's one of those agents that does all over too. And she's a phenomenal agent. She kills it. And I actually, this is funny. She's in the city, right? So she does a lot of the city. She does a lot of like Montgomery County, and where I am mostly is, like Montgomery County, Delco. One random day, I'm out in like freaking God's country, like past Pottstown. I don't even know where I was. It was definitely maybe close to Reading. And I'm at a property, and there's another agent there with another buyer. So like I came up to like knock on the door and just be like, hey, no rush, take your time. the agent turns around and it's Pam Butera. And we both look at each other. We're like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, what the hell's going on? But my point is like, I was actually so excited to see her because I admire, she's one of the female agents I admire. And I know her, like her markets. I'm like, oh, I'm like, all right, I'm still on the right path because she's here too. Like she kills it. She's awesome. So yeah, it was so yeah, we do all over, but it's because we love real estate. We know the markets. We study them too.
Well, to the point, tell everyone where you're showing a home today.
I was in Haddonfield.
Yeah, in Haddonfield. So
and I'll be there next week too because I have another appointment in Haddonfield as well. Yeah.
But I mean that because so Haddonfield is I actually live in Haddonfield, and it's a small South Jersey town, but it has a lot of attraction to it. It's like comparable to like a mainline town sort of thing on the New Jersey side. And Maria just acclimates as she does. And I guarantee she'll get a deal done there because she's able to do that stuff. And that's a testament to you. I mean, it really is. It's not easy to put deals together in areas that are so widespread sometimes. So kudos to you for that.
Oh, thank you. And Jersey was a hard one too. When the first few deals I did in Jersey, I was like, what the hell? I'm like, in Wild West out here. Like some have attorneys. So I'm like, all right, attorney, got to get a good attorney. And then I do some deals. They're like, oh no, we're not using attorneys. I'm like, okay. So then we're not going to use attorneys. I'm like, but should I use an attorney? I'm like, I don't know. Like it's crazy here. And like, yeah, it was definitely a learning curve. But now that I got a grasp on it, I'm like, all right, this is cool.
But you know what though? You always learn. You're that type of person. Your attitude is some people don't like to learn. They're like, screw this, I don't want to do it. You're the opposite, the complete opposite.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, we go where our clients need us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if I had to go like, to Timbuktu or something, I'd be like, all right, cool. What are the last homes sold in Timbuktu? And were there any seller assists and all that? So thank you, John Duffin. You're a superstar too. I love John. He's awesome.
So what market or markets do you want to give us an overview of today? Any specific ones?
Well, I love them all. Maybe because I'm not, I shouldn't use the word bias in real estate, but I do have an affinity for the town that I live in, obviously, because I opened up a store in this town. But a few years ago when we came to Bordentown City, there were some really cute shops and restaurants. And I said to my friend, I'm like, this town is so cute. I feel like there can be even more added to this cool vibe. Then COVID hit. And I think there's been a huge, we know there's been a huge transition from like, city type places to out in like the suburbs where you can walk to parks and you can walk to local eateries and there's things to do and train stations. And so Bordentown City has that. It has a local train to get to Philly. It has, you're close to multiple airports. You can walk to any type of fine dining restaurant that we have in town. Tons of new stores have opened up here in the last.
What's your spot? What's your food spot there?
Oh gosh, I go to every single one.
No, but what's the place that you like rave about to me that I have? Is it Toscana, right?
God, I hope none of them are watching because I don't want to get in trouble.
Talk about them all. I don't care.
All of them. For my ahi tuna, I go to Toscano. I was there last night. We had dinner there last night, and it's every restaurant is phenomenal. They're all different, but they're also good. And in the last few months, other people recognized the charm and the whatever, there's this like factor that Bordentown City has. So a lot of other businesses opened up in the last few months. We have an incredible new coffee shop called Turtle Beans. Amazing. A new florist, a new sandwich shop that happens to be, you went there, you got your dinner from there. Crumb. Yeah. Now in Bordentown City also. We have there are so many new businesses opened up. And there are more that are opening that are on its way. And then we got another new steakhouse, 2 restaurants a little outside of the main historic city. So Bordentown City is definitely, the property values have increased, obviously, with great restaurants and things to do. And with COVID, that happens, the property values have increased slightly. It is still affordable. I would say the average price of a home could be like anywhere for like, 250 to 350 for, one of the beautiful row homes that we have
That's really
here.
affordable.
Twins. Yeah, it's still affordable.
Yeah.
And then you have your larger, older homes that can go anywhere from like 600 to 800,000. And you're surrounded also by there's tons of local farms out here. Like we're surrounded by Chesterfield and Robbinsville and Columbus and Fields. Like there's so much to do. I never thought I would be a Jersey girl. Like when I was in my 20s, you couldn't pay me $2 million to say you're going to be a Jersey girl. And I don't think I'm an actual Jersey girl. I'm Long Island at heart, but like I would never imagine I lived in New Jersey, because being from Long Island, you look at New Jersey as like, what's it called? The MTV like fist pumping.
Yeah.
What is it? Like
Jersey Shore. Yeah.
Jersey Shore. Yeah. Like CI, like whatever that, I don't know, that fist, whatever. That's what growing up in New York, I thought everyone in New Jersey was like that.
You know what? They breed haters out in New York, Maria. I'm not going to lie. They breed some haters.
It's totally opposite that where I live. It's like farms and horses and like, it's amazing. It's such a cute little charming town. It's like when I wake up in the morning and I walk my dog, it's like, I feel like I'm on Sesame Street, because like the garbage men are out, there are people washing their sidewalks, there's the postman getting ready to put the thing, there's a UPS guy, there's the FedEx guy. It's like all the people in your neighborhood. It's really funny.
Well, it's funny too, because when you think about it, we're reverting back to older times. Like,
absolutely. History repeats itself. And I see a lot of that happening with the way people shopping more local. People come to my store and they're like, oh, I can get this from Petco, but I want to make sure you don't have it first, because I'd rather buy it here. And chances are I sometimes have it. But yeah, I thought about the other day, like it's definitely, and I think that's a great thing. I think that's really great.
Yeah. Talk to us about the trials and tribulations overall you're seeing with real estate at this moment, with the rates being where they are, and the sellers, and what's your overall take on what's going on? You don't have to, not from a factual standpoint. Like, what are you feeling out there? Like,
what's your lie then? You said not from a factual standpoint.
No, I meant like from a number. I don't need like statistics. I just meant like, what are you seeing on a daily basis from buyers and sellers?
In the last few weeks, actually, I've gotten a lot of buyers, and they're just kind of like, I get a lot of buyers that are like pricing out different mortgage companies. People are just holding off, just like waiting a little bit. But then I think there are longer days on the market for my sellers, but I'm still getting some activity. I'm about, fingers crossed, put one under contract. We had multiple offers, but like the multiple offers came in like 3 or 4 days after being on the market. Whereas back in the good old days, 6 months ago, you'd get that within 24 hours.
Sure.
So yeah, we're just seeing longer days on market. A lot of buyers are a little hesitant right now, but there's still, we still have serious buyers that need homes. Trying to think what else. Yeah, the mortgage rates are higher.
Is there an advantage to buying now? Like, will you get, like, are you seeing the prices come in line with where they should be, a little lower?
I think things are balancing out. And I also there are less buyers in the buyer pool right now. So, and I'm seeing sellers being more open to seller assist. The last 2 deals I closed, one was with you. We had seller assist, a good amount seller assist. So those are coming back. Home inspections are coming back, where they're contingent on home inspections. So it's definitely balancing out and getting a little bit more normal.
Yeah. Well, and that was my point, is that, we keep saying it as professionals in the business, date the rate, marry the home. But it's very, very true, because there's a lot of advantages to buying now. It's really turning back to the buyer in a big way. And if you can get a home at even below either at or below where it should be, right, or where it could be.
Right.
You can always refinance. That no one stays in the same rate for 30 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I know we talked about this because I would call you to make sure I was accurate with my information. Like, okay, the rates are higher, but home prices are balancing out a little bit. So you're essentially paying the same amount with lower rates and higher prices.
Right.
But then even better, rates, drop a little bit in a few months. Hopefully, I mean, I was in a meeting where they said that is probably going to happen. Then you quickly refi. And so then, so I think people have to look at this market in all of its totality and also look at history. One of my minors in college was history. And one of my biggest takes from that was that history repeats itself. So we all have to be aware of that. And
so what were your major and minors plural? So what
I think so I started off with journalism and then education. And then when I went to I switched schools. I went to Hofstra and I did a major in elementary education. And I did do a minor for history.
Wow.
So I picked history. And then I did a specialty of African American history.
Really?
So starting about I studied Africa and all of the different tribes and colonization and all that stuff.
Wow.
And then I went to grad school for literacy.
Well, that's a lot of stuff. The people. So are we allowed to quiz you on the African American history stuff, or?
No. I don't know what questions to ask me.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna have to Google most of it because I don't know.
I had a really awesome teacher for one particular class, and I was like, "Ooh, I had to pick a focus for the history minor." So I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." It was pretty cool.
That is cool. That's interesting. Well, I mean, it's good to learn about new stuff too. I mean, in reality, when you learn about the same stuff in history, taking it from a different perspective and understanding different stories is cool,
Yeah,
cool.
I love learning stuff.
So Maria, what's next?
They went to school for 10 years.
well, that's a different show.
That's a different show. My dad always likes to remind me, how many years you went to school? How many college did we pay for?
But so the message today, I think, which is really important, is no matter where, because you're a good agent. You're a really good agent. You're very, very, very good at what you do, regardless of what. I'm not going to let you say anything about that. I'm going to speak. You're a really, really good agent. You're extremely knowledgeable. You do things in a very professional way. You are as good as the highest level agents out there by far from a technical perspective. That's why I do not comment, because I don't want you taking away from that, because it's 100% true. Knowing that and understanding that you're consistently doing things to better yourself professionally, what are your goals now, basis where you used to be? Because again, you're wiser, more mature, further in your career. Realistically, what are your goals now?
You mean number wise?
No, I meant just in general. Having been in the business for so long, right? Because I know that my goals change. You went from slinging X amount of deals and doing X amount of volume to from a satisfying yourself perspective. What do you want to see come from yourself in the next couple of years, if you will?
I think it's continuing to focus on showing more appreciation and gratitude to my clients, past, present, and ones that I bring in moving forward. And I think focusing on all of the good that is here, because I spent a lot of years focusing on what I don't have. And I focused on a lot of negative comments that were made to me by certain people, and I let that destroy a good portion of my life. And I feel like now I'm trying to get back on track to fix that. And I found that by reading a lot of books and focusing on all of the good that I have, which is my clients, which is my support group, which is my family and my friends, that I need to focus on all of that and have more gratitude towards that. Because when you do that, I feel like the universe thanks you for that also. When you thank the universe thanks you as well. I know that sounds corny, but I'm okay with people seeing that I'm corny and I'm all into that whole universe stuff.
No, I love that. What a cool message.
The energy that you feel about yourself has to be has to be incredible, and you have to give that. And when what you give is what you get.
And getting and making sure you take the steps necessary to get to that point, right?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
What a key factor, because you are now, having made these decisions, in a place mentally to stay positive, and as a result, that positivity will breed success.
Absolutely. And I'm also just planning on working my ass off for the next 6 to 12 months. Not that I'm not going to work my ass off after that 12 months, but I'm really in like high gear right now, because I've realized this power of gratitude and how much energy it brings to you. So it's gotten me a little motivated.
I love it, man. So superstar you are, kid. I'll tell you that. you to me, you are every aspect of the word. I love doing these shows with you. Maria and I just really enjoy working together. It's so nice to have somebody that's a partner, and a partner is such a strong word that's used too loosely, but really, like, we both are there to support one another. We've both made each other better at what we do, and we see the results. I mean, I can't even think of any deal we haven't worked on together where the clients aren't coming out with, big smiles.
Absolutely, it's 100% true.
And I love that. I love that. I really do. So, to many more shows, my friend, of having you on. I wish you amazing success with your new team.
Thank you so much,
Nicole Reif. You are the bomb diggity. You are. Do you want to do any parting messages?
Fire me from saying all that.
She can't fire you. And Meredith, thank you for being such a huge supporter over there, kid. So, as we go into this amazing weekend filled with, especially in Philadelphia, what a weekend of sports and crazy activity. Do you want to send any parting messages to our viewers here, Maria?
Oh gosh, just be grateful for everything you have, and
love it.
Yeah, just be grateful and love everybody.
I dig it, man. I dig this, Maria, man. I dig it. So thank you, everyone, for watching another edition of the Superstar Show. The goal is to take nuggets. So I hope you took plenty of them today from this. And we will see you next week with another edition and more powerhouse people. Have a great weekend. Peace.